So hello, a very warm welcome to the VAR show, the show which talks about various major football leagues in detail. Today we are going to continue the theme of interviews, and we have Mr. Abhishek Sharma from, at least today, like one big, maybe you can call him the George Mendes of India, if I'm not wrong. so, so without rushing much time, I would like to first thank Abhishek for coming on the show. Thank you and welcome to the show. And I would like to begin by asking you, how are you and what have you been doing? In this pandemic world where probably you have to shift players, but it's difficult.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for having me. I think this has been a long due conversation between the two of us. Also, I think it was a little exaggerated that I'm the Mendes or whatever. I don't think so. I think I'm in my own zone and whatever. But I've been excited to come on this platform and chat with you, and I've seen your videos. So it's my pleasure to be with you guys. Coming to your question. Pandemic's been very interesting for the last 18 months for I think everyone around the globe and in India and with work and everything. Uh, so yeah, I think it's taken a very different direction to what football was. I think 2 years back. So somehow there are pros and cons in it. Uh, so I think it's going fine. It's just that there are a few things that I would have loved to see which were to be implemented if there was no COVID, which is more related to the youth programs, the grassroots programs of these big clubs and things like that. So hopefully, once the world is in a better place, we will get back to the projects and the things that Indian football is doing overall to improve. Yeah.
Definitely. So, I have a question from what answer you have given, but before that, I will ask that before I move on to more personal questions from you. So, you said like how you wanted probably to see something along the lines of youth and like grassroots.
Correct.
And this is something generally, if you just ask anyone in India, why has India not qualified for World Cup or anything, they'll say our grassroots is bad.
Correct.
If everyone knows the answer, why has no one done anything when you have a lot of money and like you are doing so much?
Yeah. There are multiple reasons. Okay, there's not one reason. See, Indian sports consumer, no, they are like we have reached, and globally also we've reached that day and age of where people just want to read the headline and there's no substance. So it's a headline world. So what happens is everyone wants to abuse and say the Indian national team didn't do well or India sucks or the youth programs are not good and they can blame, but they don't really want to get into the matter of why is it not happening and what can you do for it to happen. So in those reasons, I think there are India as a whole hasn't come together, which they are trying. It's not that it's not happening, it is happening, but it is slower compared to the pace that it should be at, to be honest. So if I give you an idea where a state like Kerala, state like Calcutta, Goa, Northeast, be it Meghalaya, Mizoram, Manipur, football is really growing and at the grassroots level, and they're doing well. Now it's all about how you connect states like Uttarakhand, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Punjab, uh, Tamil Nadu. How do you bring them together? So this is one. I think like a whole unit it should be going by. Second thing is a lot of people don't understand what is grassroots and youth development. So when you don't really understand what it is, people think in India also and a lot of places I've seen, they think grassroots development is you start from the age of 10 and 12. No, which is 10 and 12 is already very late. You start with a kid with football who's at 5, under 5, you have under 8, you have under 10. So these are the models that you should follow. There's a lot of South American countries who are very similar to the Indian subcontinent. And India in general, because it's a third world sort of a thing. So Uruguay follows that model, Argentina follows that model, where the infrastructure is, it's still better than India, but it's not the best. It's not what you get in Europe. So it's a good thing. I think we should adapt those models and then bring it here. And then also bring together a cohesive partnership between the federation, the coaches, the local community, parents. So I think it's a holistic overall thing. So people can sit and say "Okay, India sucks or they're not doing well, but it's important that in the community that I live in or the neighborhood or places where I'm at, how many of us will make an effort to go see kids play? Are parents willing to take their kids to go for these sessions? It's happening in India. I won't say that it's dead. It's happening, but it's happening at a slower pace. I think we're in first gear, whereas we should be on like the fourth gear or something. Uh, so yeah, that would be something I would say.
No, no, that makes a lot of sense because of like what you said. But do you think like you mentioned, like yeah, it's happening, but not at the speed probably it should have been, or maybe at the acceleration maybe some of the leagues like ISL took from its
Correct.
when it started. At that acceleration, it has not
Correct.
caught up. Do you think like maybe just bringing in money for the tournaments is not there because there is no genuine interest from maybe the sponsors or investors because people won't be watching that league maybe.
Yeah. So there are two three things to it, of course. Um, See, with football in India, no. If India does well, there are more viewers. When there are more viewers, there's of course going to be a sponsor who's going to be involved. Uh, Now, what has happened is we don't have a long enough league. Number one, which is in the question. If like India played the AFC matches, and I was superbly disappointed because with with Afghanistan, what we did, with Bangladesh, what we did, it wasn't there. So what I mean to say is, it's not the problem of the players, or it's not completely even the national team coaches' problem. Problem is in our system where our federation has not made enough efforts to make something where a professional. So if you see abroad where we want to compare our players to, be it Nepal, India, wherever, I want my Indian player to be like, I don't know, Harry Kane. The amount of matches that Harry Kane plays in a season is like, I don't even think there's 30% that the Indian players land up playing. So that is problem number one. So if they don't have enough game time, they're not going to improve. They're not going to improve. India will not play well. India will not play well. There won't be enough people watching, and the sponsors will be not there. So it has to be it's like a domino effect, and it has to be moving in a pyramid sort of a thing where things can come in. There are sponsors, there are people who want to be involved, there are people who've invested in clubs, there are big corporates who are involved. People see that India is a sleeping giant in football. Uh, but I think now, to bring back Indian community of fans, to engage the fans, all of this is very important. So if I go to a sponsor in Bengal, Goa, Kerala, all of these places, there are enough people, enough money people want to spend. Bangalore also right now. But how do I take the brand and make a connect with, engage with the audience, is something that they've not learned, which FSDL and the ISL has failed a few times, and which is where I think you have to engage very intensely with the fans. So in a place like Kerala, where the club's not won anything, but the fans are crazy. What has Kerala Blasters done to keep their fans engaged is there. So their fans are so passionate, whether you win or lose, they are on your side. Now that type of a heart you don't get. If you went to a Bengal, you lose a match, your fans are going to tear you down. No matter, matlab, if there was a normal situation, and what happened with one of the top Calcutta clubs who played the ISL. I'm not going to mention name, and I hope the viewers are well aware of it. So they came playing the ISL. If this was a normal scenario and not a pandemic, the coach who's there, they don't care. They don't care how big a celebrity or a star you are. But if you come for our club and play, and if you screw up, we're not going to leave you. So it is that sort of a passion that comes in. So I think overall as a balance has to improve. Also, one thing that has to improve, um, and if more viewers are watching this show, you have to support youth communities and you have to watch football. You have to stick around. Go see a under 16 game. Go watch all of these India matches, or a state league match, or a Santosh Trophy and things like that. Because the kid who's playing now will get that encouragement to know, okay, yes, I've chosen this and I'm going to make a future in this and things like that. So it's like a circle, and it's like people, if one thing goes and then the other thing will happen. So it can give results to India in the long run, where it's a big property. I think in 4 to 5 years the investment in football is going to be massive. It's just that how we channel this out is the key. So it's about fans, it's about fans watching, fan engagement. It's all of these things holistically.
Definitely. Like another one other thing that I wanted to touch upon is, like you said, like grassroots, and because maybe also the parents want their children to study, and because it's that culture has been followed. Okay, you need education is
Yes,
priority. Do you think like maybe improving the football at grassroots level, the answer lies in probably the school competitions where they can focus more, because
of course,
everyone is going to school
of
because
course,
education is priority.
of
So
course.
is that something you can tap on?
Yeah, sure. So I'll give you an idea. What happens is, I think the schools and overall, I think with the Fit India movement and everything, because the government is trying and things like that, there are small steps that are happening. Maybe just not directly. I wouldn't also say every school should just do football. I would say every school should give priority to sports in general. Like it can be that they like playing football as a team, but might like playing badminton, or might want to be a javelin thrower like Neeraj Chopra. You never know. So what I mean to say is, I think from the school, you're absolutely right. I think the school management and the community can come together, and they can start encouraging kids to play more sports, have dedicated periods, have a fitness regime and things like that, which is already introduced, by the way, in India. A lot of the state governments have applied it. Now, you've said it, the implementation takes a lot of time. I think also the private schools anyway have it. I think in India, if you enter the private school, one of the key things that the parents look at is, apart from the teachers and all of that, the infrastructure. Football field hona chahiye, cricket hona chahiye, swimming hona chahiye. My son or my girl should do all of these activities and things like that. So I think it's come now. It's also, there should be, I think, where India can have a lot of opportunity. There should be a one very integrated platform where these PT teachers who are involved in these schools are in one sort of a database or a platform where they are also given the right training. Like it can't be PT teacher is talking about fitness to a 10-year-old kid, and sideways sipping on chai with one tummy coming out. No, so I think that has to be led by example. I don't mean to question the physicality. What I mean to say is the intent. So what happens is, a 10-year-old is not in a state of mind to choose the right or wrong, because they're not that. They will choose, like we say, no, whatever you do at home, the kid learns from you. So it's the same way. If I see a PT teacher who's not fit or things like that, it not that it's a wrong thing or whatever, but it plays a they are not in a age to make decisions themselves, so it can play a psychological impact on them. So I think there should be a program for all of these PT teachers. I think the school management can look more seriously into all of this. And yes, there are tournaments that happen. I come from a school where I've played every single sport under the sun, playing against the most dominating schools, traveling from Calcutta to Bangalore to Lucknow and places like that. So it was a very good, healthy environment. I think it can happen more. Like I think there could be more competitive sort of a thing that can happen, um, and it'll give the results.
Definitely, hopefully. And moving on from that to move about yourself, and you said you were a very, very athletic child, like playing all the sports under the sun, traveling all over India, and yeah. So like that clearly, I think you had aspirations to become a sports person, not any particular. I think.
always.
So how did at least today happen?
Okay, so I'll run it through you. So, I always played a lot of sports. I always loved sports. I love watching, playing, consuming everything of it because I wasn't one of the great uh, academic students. I wasn't really very good. I was just about average or get my way through with things and things like that. But whenever I was on the field or something like that, it felt like that I belonged here. Like it gave me a sense of belonging. It gave me a sense of my presence. It gave taught me a lot of things like leadership, team management, things like that. Cohesively working and things like that. Uh, I don't think so. I played too many individual sports. I must have played TT or something like that. But yeah, I think I love the challenge of the team sport and things like that. So I think that built a foundation in my head for the person that I am today. So it helped me shape that up. Um, and yeah, and then school got over. I did my college and everything. I didn't really know if I wanted to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was in college. To be honest, I finished my bachelor's in business management, and I thought I'll take a typical job or work in the corporate, build a corporate life for myself and things like that. However, uh, I think a very important turning point came was I started interning with this company that would work for the IPL, and IPL was the first biggest sport that happened in India as a private league. So IPL is the foundation of private sport in India in overall, and now which is an industry. Sports is a complete different industry altogether. So so I think when I worked in there, I was really passionate. I was very young. I was hungry to learn and things like that. So I think that sort of changed my mind, thinking, okay, oh, this could be interesting. But I still didn't know. So I remember when I finished college and all, I got a good offer from big corporate. I don't want to name because it didn't happen, so there's no point. Um, I got a very good paying corporate job sort of a scenario. And the thing is, I always thought that again in college, I would just go through my 1 month before my exam, prepare, and I would do it. Uh, so using my street smartness, I cracked a good interview with a big multinational company, uh, and I got through. Uh, but then I went there for a couple of days, and very soon to realize that I don't think so. This is my environment. Uh, because people were too obsessed with that MNC. I think my friends also who were in the same thing, and I wasn't, because I always thought from the point of view, which is weird. I don't know. Uh, that 10 years later down the line, when I'm older, the MNC will get someone younger. Like, so I'm just like a motioning tool and just someone there. Uh, I would have loved it if I said if I would be the owner of the MNC, like sort of a thing. So I think there was a very important thing as learning from a lot of things. So what defines you is what you want to be. Do you want to be a sheep or a shepherd? Like, this is a line that is stuck to me throughout. And I always thought, I think I can be a shepherd. I'm not a sheep, for sure. Uh, so I think, yeah, all of these things, a lot of people hated my decision, my parents being one of them, and things like that. So I was, again, then I was doing sports management and everything. Then I met um, a lady who works for the IMG, comes from Australia for the IPL. She, in a casual conversation, and told me that, son, why don't you do, and I had finished college and everything, and I was going through that period from March to May when the IPL happens. I said, up 2 years I've done IPL, let me do one more year, and after May I will think what I want to do. Should I do masters or should I apply for a job somewhere else in sports or something like that? Uh, then she told me, why don't you do sports management? And I was like, huh? Sports management? Wow, very interesting. What does sports management mean and things like that. Uh, hence started my journey. I found out about what it is and then got into it. My parents wanted me to do an MBA. I didn't. I thought sports is going to be a growing industry and things like that. So I did my thing. I worked for a grassroots firm as an intern while I had finished my college. Then joined an MNC, which was into sports infrastructure. So I worked in a few multiple places. Uh, Only that at one point of time I never thought I'll be an entrepreneur, to be honest, but I was very clear what I wanted. Like my integrity and my passion for the sport was a lot. Like, so I take my things very seriously, and I take sports as a industry and a business very seriously. So I was working somewhere where there were a lot of disagreements and things like that. And at that point of time, I think for the good or bad, I said, screw this, I will do my own thing, because I want to take it seriously. And they didn't really have that type of a thought or a vision to do it. Uh, so I left that company. The person who was the intern in that company, she was my friend. I got her involved, and she was doing her MBA, who was working as an intern who I had hired. Uh, I got her involved and said, see, to make a company, I need two people. You should be my partner, and let's start. Uh, that's how I started Athletes Today. It was a struggle.
Definitely. So I wanted to ask, like many of them would have, if any listeners would want to ask, they would have had this doubt. Did you do your sports management or not?
Yeah, I did my sports
From
management.
where?
Uh, so I did it from IISM. Um, I wouldn't recommend a lot of the listeners to do any sports management courses in India. This is my personal opinion. Uh, the reason why I landed up doing what I'm doing right now is before doing sports management, I had experience in working in this line, practical experience. So that helped me a lot. Uh, because suppose the batch that did sports management with me, a 50 member batch, out of which only 15 of them currently work in the sports industry. The rest of them don't. So, so I think the quality of education for sports management in India is also not there yet. Uh, don't fall for good marketing, which is spent on Facebook and Instagram saying, pay this much money and things like that. They'll get you one stupid guest lecturer from abroad who's going to stand there and you think you will know everything. No. My suggestion to every single young person who wants to join the sports industry is go the practical route, get involved, work as an intern, get to understand, get into the skin of the game, then identify what sports industry is like an umbrella. Then identify where do you really want to work in the sports industry, and then maybe once you have worked, you have practical experience and you have clarity, then I would suggest you that maybe you go and do like a 1 year diploma or like a master in sports, uh, to take your career and give it a further boost. People, especially finishing college, please, it's a request, don't get into sports management straight away.
That makes sense, because I also, like, I think if you are into, maybe now is different, but if you are delving into maybe football, if you are passionate towards football, I think in India the sports management will be more hands-on cricket. If maybe I might be wrong, but because that's the thing that's being,
Correct,
the
correct.
case studies will probably be IPL, and like the maybe CCL or whatever was there before that, ICL, whatever. So I mean,
Correct.
like, it won't be football or other sports for that example, like.
It's happening. There were a lot of people who would. I had cricketers in my batch who said, Abhi, if I didn't become cricketer, I'll do something in sports and things like that. So it's there. There is cricket, but there is a lot of football also. I will not deny. There
Okay.
is. There is no doubt. There's a lot of football, and see, everyone in India consumes football. There are people are saying, example, Euros are going on. People are saying it's coming home. It's coming home to where? Like Juhu, to Indranagar, to where? Bada Bazaar in Calcutta. I don't know where is it coming. So football is massively consumed for sure. But like, don't I think a youngster shouldn't get manipulated by this thing, by these fancy courses, saying, oh, like, if I go do this course and, my dream is going to come true. Uh, no. I would suggest that I think work in the system, apply for an internship or whatever when you're done with college, get a 1 or 2 year experience, and then do it, because by then you're clear, you will know कि reality क्या है. you know if I enter the industry thinking, looking at European football, and then I get to know Indian football, is my world might shatter at that moment. But that's how it should be.
Yeah, this is sometimes like like many of your dreams or aspirations should be there. You shouldn't get very close to it.
Yeah,
They're good
correct.
as aspirations and dreams itself. Like if you get too
Correct.
close, maybe it will change the reality and your perception of it.
Correct, correct. And it could demotivate you. It's not a very easy industry. It's a new industry. There's a lot of competitiveness. So it can, like, as a youngster, it can also play a psychological effect. I would, again, like I said, don't waste your parents' money doing these courses now. I don't know, or become a sports entrepreneur or something. Start a small sports shop. I don't know. Matlab, do something by yourself, get the practical experience of things, because with sports management you're not reading Philip Kotler. There's no specific theory to practical is the theory that is the reality. So I think, yeah, people should do that. You're not going to learn something different or something that is mind boggling in sports management.
What is weird in that one sentence you said, you mentioned Philip Kotler, is I did engineering. And I've never done management or commerce throughout my schooling life. But still, I do know Philip Kotler because he had one choice of subject in our last semester where we could take anything. I took data management, or I think something business something, and in that also we had Philip Kotler. So I guess he is very famous in the management world.
Marketing guru.
Yeah, like
I I also is a very complex process. Like I finished because I did business management, so I topped my subject in marketing and consumer behavior, is because I did well in things that I was passionate about. I think I have realized, being the age I am, that what type of a person am I. So if I like something, 100% I go for it. There is no holding back. So I think I studied all that consumer behavior and all, and it's complex. It's not simple things, but the fundamentals are so good, so that is real learning. That is a theory learning and real practical, which you can imply that theory in a practical situation, or get things around it. It's not there in sports, like.
no, I get that. I completely understand. And like I'll ask you, like okay, you started your company, maybe you wanted to try your hand. You had seen firsthand. You are not
Yes,
star struck anymore because you were working with IPL teams, which
never.
probably were the demigods in India, or are still. So
Yes,
like you can't get more higher than them in terms of sports in India. You can't get more
correct,
higher than IPL in any
correct,
sports. So
correct.
how did you get your first player to sign up with you after that, when you started your company?
So I'll tell you. So I've never been starstruck, and someone who's played a lot of sport will have this sort of a thing where I don't know. Like I can't compare myself to a national team player, but I've been a sportsman. So for me, I'm not fascinated by if I saw anyone. Like even if I met Tendulkar, I wouldn't be like I'll be inspired, and I admire him, but I wouldn't be in that sort of a thing. Oh my God, like type of a thing. Uh, so that is one. I think that's a very mental thought process. Um, so when I started my company, I struggled a lot, a lot. It wasn't easy. To explain athlete management to players themselves wasn't easy, because they don't know, they don't have the time, they don't know what you do, who you are, how are things like that. So it took me a lot of time. Then I spent a lot of time making structures around it. How I want my company to go. What should I do? What should be a contract? What are the type players that I target? Um, I think once I reached that stage, I was very keen. So when I was forming my company, there was Rio Olympics happening. This was in 2016 November, when I had quit my job and I said, Abhi, I will do my own thing. I didn't know what it would be, but that time the Rio Olympics was going on and India did miserably bad, like bad. And the only positive that was for us was women in sports in India are going to thrive. Women in India and Indian sports are going to thrive. PV Sindhu did well, Sakshi Malik did well, Deepa Karmakar was really close. Uh, so that became a very good eye opening to know that Indian society has to change for the good. And women, if India really has a shot of going for such international events, women are the one who can do it much better than men. And then we started finding out statistics about it. And we found out real data and real statistics about these things. So once we had that, then I was clear as to what are the players that I wanted to target. Uh, so one of them was Sushila Chanu, who is the captain of India back then, and she's again going for Tokyo Olympics as she's one of the most senior players and she's the engine of the women's hockey team. So I tracked her down. There are interesting stories. I didn't know her address. I got with my partner. I went to the railway quarters. I got in touch because I had played hockey. Uh, I got in touch with someone from the district community in Bengal who played hockey, who connected me to the Western Railway Division in Mumbai, who played hockey. She connected me to one lady. That lady connected me to Sushila. So, so I had to go through all of that, and it was totally worth it. I think I was so thrilled by this experience. Uh, and so she happened to be the first top talent that my agency signed.
Definitely. And I wanted to ask you, like, similar, like, to, like, you said it took a lot of time. Like, over right now in hindsight, it looks very, like, like, okay, this was, you can connect the dots, but
Yeah.
you are being referred to different people, like you said, to be while being connected to her. Did you think that it was just going round and round because you're just being connected from one person to another, and like,
Yeah, I agree that there are a lot of times where it's very frustrating. It's happened not just with her, with some other players also. It's happened when she wasn't the only player. We were targeting a few more. Uh, and it happened and things like that. But it has to be on the individual. For me, what mattered was I don't think so. I'm the most hardworking or the most intelligent sort of entrepreneur or I don't know, a sports, whatever, business person. Uh, but one thing that I give it to myself, and I know the person I am, I have a lot of perseverance. So I persevere a lot. Like I will keep at it. Like I will not give up. Like I will keep at it, keep at it, keep at it, and it will come. And at that point of time, I had no choice. I had a company and I had to do it. Like I don't have a choice to say screw this and I will, like I could get a very good job. I had a very high paying CTC before I left that job and started my thing. But I think my fundamentals were strong, uh, and I persevered a lot. Right. So I kept at it. नहीं होगा तो हम फिर कोई नया तरीका ढूंढेंगे to find out. So, I would not. So my headspace was I'm not going to give up, and it's not rocket science. Like I'm not. I don't work for the ISRO or something where I'm building a satellite or something. So uh, Yeah, I think that was the thing.
No, no, that's very important. You know, like sometimes just going there every day makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
I know it firsthand because many of times I have approached few people outside, maybe in the European footballing community, who probably do not respond in the first go. But if when you keep going, they do respond, and you know, like they do. Okay, even if they say no, at least they say you a reason why and whatever.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, like it's they do. I mean, like perseverance. I think not only like in general, it's very
Yeah, I
helpful.
think general discipline of life. Uh, if you have a very set thing, and for me, I'm telling you, my life, my child, my romance, my everything was my company. So it nothing mattered. Now it was that I have to keep at it and give it an identity. So yeah, so that's how.
So starting then, now you have like big players in your team. That is at least today like Gurpreet and you know like the star names of football, even upcoming like Sumit. So going forward, what how do you see yourself? You know, like do you think like because you are you although you have played all the sports, maybe you have passion towards football. Maybe I'm just assuming. I don't know. You have not mentioned that, but do you see yourself more as a football based or all the sports? How do you position yourself?
So I'll be really honest. I played a lot of cricket. I played a lot of hockey. I played football. I wasn't very good at it. Like technically, I wasn't sound. Football for me was like I think I was more like Gattuso or something, you know. So like I was one of those Italian people or things like that, you know, straight tackle. Like that's it. I wasn't very technical, where my friends were really good and technical, and they were things like it. The reason why I chose sports in general and not cricket was I truly have a lot of compassion for my fellow Indians and people here. And I really think India can do well. I think by the time that I get older, it will be nicer for me to see India doing well in the global stage and things like that. So that was one. Then one incident had happened in my life which changed my thought, which was when I was working with this MNC before I started my company and much before that, which was into sports infrastructure and all of that. So I had gone for a sports summit where people from all around the world were there. Uh, and I'm a good communicator. I'll be honest. So I speak to a lot of people, and I don't shy away if someone is the CEO or something. Like I'm not really this thing. I can walk up and talk to people. So I spoke to a lot of people who had come from Netherlands, Australia, Belgium, Argentina. I spoke. I would really walk up and talk to them and understand, tell them about India and our thing, and understand their thing. Most common thing that I got was they all asked me where is, with the population and everything, where is India in global sports? You know, where is India? And India is nowhere. Like cricket is played by 15 countries. That's it. But apart from there, we had an identity with hockey, which people know, but we are nowhere. So then I gave them a lesson saying now we are there. PV Sindhu being an example, and Sakshi Malik being an example. So I think that question, they weren't trying to offend me, but I think they were genuinely trying to find out problem care. What is the problem, boss? 1.35 billion. What is the issue? Like, you know, so that really sunk into me as a person that uh, it is true. Like, if a country like Argentina, which is very similar to India in terms of a lot of things, they play very good hockey, they play very good basketball, they play very good football, and of course, football is their forefront. But they are also good in 10 different other sports. So that's where I think that my thought process had changed, and with athletes today, I've kept it very open. Uh, I don't choose to work with 50 plus footballers, nor do I have the capacity to do it. I wish I was funded by a big philanthropist or a big corporate who gave me 50 crores and said make a big agency or something. Then I would, but I'm not. So I have limited resources, and I also come from the pool of thought where quality over quantity matters for me right now. So I think I've kept it to that direction in football, and with other sports always open. Like hockey is something I knew, but I get a what I realized when I started with athletes today. Also in a couple of years, I would get a mountaineer who wants me to work with him, which is bizarre. Like I have nothing to do with mountaineering. I don't even know. Like, but what I realized was a lot of these people don't have that platform or don't have the right people who can explain them or work with them or build a process for them. You know, so I don't know. I'm crazy enough that I took that challenge, and that guy also chased me for like 6 to 8 months every day. And I would tell him, भाई मुझे mountaineering का कुछ नहीं पता है. Like I don't know anything. Like how do you want me to? Like what do I do for you? Uh, then finally I got him on board and I'm working with him. So what I and it gave me a learning. So it happened like that. Now I'm working very closely with the Cycling Federation. I signed a couple of cyclists. I'm not going to disclose names, but so cycling is something. So I also take up the challenge to learn something new. You're never too old to learn. So once I got to know the junior cycling champion of the world is an Indian boy. I'm sure half the people don't even know this. Once I got to know about it, I was fascinated. I was like, wow, world junior cycling champion is an Indian boy. Unbelievable. Okay, so then I think I took up things and all of that. So I like identifying uh, underdogs or undervalued athletes in different sports who can shine. So I think that is my thrill, be it football or be it anything else. Uh, Football mainly because football gets a lot more highlight. Uh, but yeah, I'm very open to learning and trying different things with my team, but only in a limited capacity. I wish I get funded 50 crores to do it, but not yet. Yeah.
Definitely. So, like we are close to the end, and I'll ask you one more before wrapping up. I won't take much more of your time because it's close to an hour. I don't want to make it like a 2 hour like Ishan,
No,
like
no.
Ishan does a 2 hour and it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's
But with I think with Ishan's pod is I think it's about life in general.
yeah,
So yeah, I also didn't realize it. It's about life in general.
it's too long. It's too long, but it's. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like if I was a listener, I would have to break it down to multiple days and listen. Like
But I think Ishan is also his group of audience is very different.
yeah,
So it was. I think that was a very interesting one as well. Yeah,
definitely.
sure. Go ahead.
And so we'll wrap it up with one final question. Do you have like, of course, you have said like perseverance and a lot of phrases like the sheep and the shepherd and all the stuff which you follow or you think about. But if you had to give uh, advice to anyone wanting to do, you have already given like start doing more practical stuff than rather than theoretical. What would that be? Like like what should they do? Like anything.
Oh, you mean in terms of sports
Yeah,
management?
anything like sports. If they want to like follow something that you have done, what should they do?
I don't know really what I have done. I don't know. Everything have their. Everybody has their own thing. I'll just say stick to basics. Be more disciplined. Chase your passion. Believe in your passion 100%. Uh, and I think get more clarity out of it. Don't get fooled by the social media world in terms of be it education or be it whatever you're doing. Uh, I think get some real experience into the skin and maybe give yourself goals that you want to achieve. So I think one thing that worked for me was I kept giving myself 2 year goals every this thing that after 2 years I got to be here or I got to try and reach here or I got to do this. or like, you know, if I started, if suppose now I say athletes today, it's been like 4 years, what by 2023 where I should be, who's the next person that I have, and where should my agency be. So I think you should have those goals which are defined. um, and yeah, chase your passion. You have to have that conviction also. uh, it's not about just being passionate, but it has to be passion and conviction to know that yes, i I think I will do it, and things like that. And yeah, that's about it.
So definitely, and on that note, I think we have lots to talk about, but I think we'll leave that for another part. So
Definitely.
thank you so much, Abhishek, for coming and
Thank you for
blessing
having
us with
me
your
here.
presence.
Thank you.
And I wish
Thank
you
you.
all the best for your upcoming everything. Like we have your hands in a lot of sports and a lot of stuff which even I don't know. Like you said, mountaineering. Although I had seen it in your website, it had slipped my mind. You have your hands in a lot of sports and a lot of stuff. So best of luck with everything, and hope to
Thank
see
you.
you
Thank
again
you.
soon.
Thank you. And
Thank you
hopefully,
so much.
and support the Indian contingent who's going for the Olympics.
Okay.
It'll be really nice if the listeners all around can do that. I think India needs your support, and this is the largest contingent which is going. So it'll be nice. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much.